Are you considering a move to Celina, Texas in 2025? Watch this video. I'm going to go over the pros and cons of living in Celina. I'm sure you've heard about it. It's one of the fastest growing cities in all of North Texas for many reasons, a bunch being new schools, master plan communities, still has the small town charm everyone's looking for, and it's just become a really hot spot for families that are relocating to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But here's the thing. With all growth comes challenges. Celina does have its pros and cons. Before you're planning on a move here, definitely want to know both sides of this video. I'm going to break down what life really looks like in Celina, from housing costs, schools, traffic, lifestyle, and even what a lot of residents are saying on social media. So stick around, watch the whole video. Please let me know if you have any additional questions that I do not cover. I'm going to be sharing one pro that has people moving to Celina faster than almost any other city in North Texas, and one con that catches a lot of people off guard. Now, the first pro of Celina, Texas is going to be it has small town charm with big growth. It has that smaller vibe. It's somehow managed to kind of hold on to its small town charm that Prosper's kind of lost while still growing like crazy. It's expected to have 160,000 people living in Celina by the end of the decade. Now, if you drive through downtown Celina, you'll see the historic square with restaurants, boutiques, coffee shops, but you'll also see a lot of brand new developments popping up all around it. Celina is known for events that bring community together. There's Cajun Fest, Friday night markets on the square, and Christmas on the square. On a lot of social media platforms, you'll see a lot of families posting about all the food trucks, live music, parades downtown. Another huge pro is the schools. Celina ISD is growing quickly with new campuses opening to keep up with demand. Families really like the smaller class sizes compared to some larger districts, and the sense of pride is strong, especially around Celina Bobcat football. If you've ever been, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Depending on the neighborhood, some families moving to Celina are actually zoned to Prosper ISD, which is consistently ranked as one of the top Texas schools. I have a link here for that video. So it's going to give you the best of both worlds. A little more affordability in Celina, but you get Prosper ISD schools. Also in that video, I break down the price point difference between Prosper and Celina. Celina was about $571,000. Prosper was well over $900,000. So big price point difference. You may be able to find that happy medium there of Celina pricing with Prosper ISD schools if the school district is something you're really after. Now, the third pro is going to be the master plan communities. If you're looking for a brand new home, Celina is one of the best spots in North Texas. You're going to find a lot of builders that are high-end builders, such as Highland Homes, Perry Homes, Drees, American Legend, Trophy Signature, and so many more. Within some of the top master plan communities in Celina are going to be Light Farms, Mustang Lake, Cambridge Crossings, and those have some really insane amenities such as pools, clubhouse, fitness centers, hike and bike trails. Some even have their own restaurants inside. And a lot of the schools are within the neighborhood themselves. So they kind of feel like their own little town, which I am going to do some breakdown videos of those specific neighborhoods in the future here soon. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss those. But a lot of those neighborhoods do kind of feel like their own little town in themselves, just because you have everything right there. Now, the fourth is going to be location and future potential growth. Celina is just north of Prosper, right along Preston Road and Dallas North Tollway. That means you're only about 15 to 20 minutes from Frisco, and you can still get into Dallas or Plano in under an hour. The big kicker here is going to be the future growth potential. Celina is projected to grow into one of the largest cities in Collin County. In fact, city leaders estimate that Celina could reach 300,000 residents in the coming decades. For buyers, that means a lot of opportunity. People who bought in Frisco 10 years ago saw massive appreciation, and many see Celina as the next potential Frisco. Now, the fifth reason is going to be community spirit and lifestyle. Celina has really built a reputation around being incredibly community driven. Between local church networks, school spirit, and family-friendly events, there is a strong sense of belonging here within the community and its residents. They have a lot of farmers markets, sports leagues, even backyard barbecue competitions. Now, the lifestyle here is slower paced than Frisco and Plano, but that is why a lot of people move here, is they want to get a little bit further out of the city, more open spaces, newer neighborhoods, sometimes a little bit bigger lots, but there's still a lot of easy access to shopping, dining, and entertainment in nearby cities. Now, getting into the cons of living in Celina, the first one is going to be rapidly rising home prices. Because Celina has a ton going for it, it's not all perfect. A few years ago, Celina was considered one of the most affordable places in Collin County, but as demand has skyrocketed, so have home prices. The median home price is now well into the 500s and a lot in the 600s. You can even find, of course, a lot more luxury price points, 700,000 and beyond. A lot of times on social media, you'll see a lot of people are upset that Celina has grown so much because home prices have grown and people were moving there for the affordability. So you might be a little bit surprised at how fast home prices are rising. But for all the amenities, the future growth plans, it is still a great deal, in my opinion, getting in there in the mid fives starting out. Now, like most of North Texas, Celina does have relatively high property taxes between new schools, infrastructure, and city services to keep up with all the growth. Those taxes are on the rise. You'll see a lot of people posting on Facebook groups, a little bit of sticker shock at their yearly property tax increase. You should be contacting your local realtor or myself to help protest those, but nonetheless, a lot of new communities sometimes have a little bit higher tax rates. You got to make sure there's not a pit or a mud, and make sure you budget for a first year jump. If the county only assessed you off the land your first year, you want to make sure you're escrowing a little bit more than usual. Now, another con is infrastructure. Celina is growing so quickly that a lot of roads and utilities are still catching up. They didn't do as good of a job as Prosper did pre-planning for the growth. Highway 289 or Preston Road both get super crowded during a rush hour, and as more and more people move in, that's only going to continue. Now, Highway 380 is just south of Celina. If you can avoid Highway 380, avoid 380. You will not like your daily commute. It will make it very frustrating when it gets done. Maybe soon, probably not, knowing construction, it will be great, but you're going to have to get used to some construction zones moving in there. Now, it isn't all awful. There's plenty of routes there to get to work. Now, the fourth con of Celina is going to be limited nightlife and entertainment, which may not be a con for everyone. I realize that. Downtown Celina does have some great restaurants, breweries, and coffee shops, but if you're looking more for the nightlife of live music, venues, clubs, or lots of bars, you're going to have to head into Frisco, Plano, or Dallas to really get that vibe. So Celina's more family-focused feel, so it's going to be a pro for some, and I think probably most people, unless you're a young professional or a young couple without kids, then Celina may be a little bit too quiet for you. But wanted to toss that in there. I know that's not a factor for everybody, but some people, when they move to Dallas, that's exactly what they're looking for, in which case you'll be better off moving into a suburb closer to Dallas. Now, the fifth is going to be just an identity shift, and I'll go over that in just a second, in growing pains. At the pace that Celina is growing, a lot of the long-time residents are feeling that the small town identity is fading with all of the new neighborhoods and businesses moving in, which is definitely true. It's not as small, and it's not going to be near as small in the coming years. So you'll see a lot of Facebook posts of people, some are really mad about it, some are excited about the growth. Others are worried it's losing what made it special in the first place. But with everything that's coming, I think Celina is going to be a great city in the coming future. But there you have it, the real pros and cons of living in Celina, Texas in 2025. On the pro side, you still have that small town charm for now, strong schools, beautiful master planned communities, great location, and just the community itself is awesome. It's a really tight knit community. On the con side, you have rising home prices, high property taxes, which is really most of Texas. Then you're going to have some traffic and infrastructure issues just as the city is growing so fast. They didn't do as good of a job planning as Prosper did. But nonetheless, Celina is going to be a great choice if you're looking for a little bit more space, community, looking to get in at a cheaper price point than, say, Prosper, a little bit more affordable. So I think it's a great choice if you're in that bucket. But if you are planning on making a move to Celina or anywhere in North Dallas, whether that's Prosper, Frisco, Little Elm, all the way up to Howe or Anna, anywhere through there, I'd love to guide you through the process. My contact info is below in the description. If you want more videos like this, be sure to subscribe. All sorts of DFW neighborhood home tours, pros and cons, comparing different cities. That way, when you come here, you already kind of have an idea of which cities you're looking for.